my people. Like, I just wanna help them. They going through so much, and it hurts to see them suffer. It hurts, but all I can do is pray. On my knees I pray, heartache weeping, cause I know my people plight is on the very deep end. From disease, drugs, or the homeless needing. From prostitution to the jail cells overpacked with black men. To the younger generation disrespecting their elders. To us being too much of consumers and not developers. To us being puppet slaves in white America. No more loving our heritage, we lost our African character. To the debt we pay to our bill collectors, no sense of community. We fight, dislike and kill each other. The black man and woman are divided like we hate each other. No more educating ourselves, we just stop at the college professors. I hate to say it, but we lost our sight in who we are. We let the devil taint our subconscious mind with all of this poison. Now we floating down the river lost in this hopeless void. If nobody else won't speak and tell the truth, then I'm gon' make some noise. I pray for they saving, Father, the devil's a lie, so bastard taste my sword.
My people, my people, my people, my people are lost and need me to lead the way. My people, my people, my people, my people are struggling and dying each day. My people, my people, my people, my people need help in every way. My people, my people, my people, my people, I love them so much that
You can bring a horse to the well, but you can't get that horse to drink. I just want my people to listen and let the music help them think. Is it on me to lead the way? My Lord, am I even worthy? Cause I ain't been the same I should be, and my life's still kinda dirty. But I'm feeling it and I'm hearing it, and my spirit tell me to move. Cause I'm tired of seeing my people suffer, it's giving me the blues. So I'm going to sacrifice myself and give them all that I got. Cause when you really love somebody, that's what it's really all about. So I'm gonna pour myself away till it ain't no more for me to pour out. Don't be deceived by the deception, you are royalty in and out. And the truth and the proof is in Africa, our motherland. We built the pyramids, made mathematics and medicine. That melanin that's deep in your skin core is gold, my friend. So gain that true knowledge yourself. You a God within. Don't let them Europeans try to convert you into they devilish seed. Look for the hidden colors and go and find out your history. Peace.
my people, my people, my people, my people are lost and need me to lead the way. My people, my people, my people, my people are struggling and dying each day. My people, my people, my people, my people need help in every way. My people, my people, my people, my people, I love them so much that I pray. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Long time coming, keep on running, so I strive. Slide up on this vibe, take a peek inside. Reflections in myself, in the mirror, take a picture. Right here standing with ya, right here battle with ya. Y'all is always doing what the others say he couldn't do. Back against the wall, still standing, this is nothing, no gorilla glue. Tight grip, feels it from another view. Young kids know too, motivation avenue. Back against the wall, still standing tall. 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 Tell me that it's okay. Life deeply rooted, breeze blowing my way. Eagle wings knew it. Guys with 2 grand, sitting around wasting time. Gotta say what's on my mind. Go ahead, kid, shine one more time. Gotta say what's on my mind, kid, shine. I was so long time ago that I'm with the heaven knows. That's why I move so. Yes, I'm ready, mighty mission. Mama kisses, eat 'em up like cinnamon. Toast crunch, what's for lunch? Eat 'em up. Ready for this battle, God sent me to one, eat 'em up. They not really ready for this young and fluent, eat 'em up. Judging me already, I'm just a kid. Hold up, that's not where it ends. Back against the wall, still standing tall. 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 Yeah, I know. That's why I am chosen.
The best music, we play it all. The 60s, the 70s,
Let's stay together.
the 80s,
Before I let you go.
the 90s,
So work it on me.
2000s,
Pray for everybody.
and beyond. We have the best
Welcome to
musical
Hollywood,
mix on
baby.
the internet. We are Black I Am Radio. Lock us in and rip the knob off.
Hey, it's your girl, Dr. Harris, live here at Black I Am Radio on the Dr. Harris Live and Friends show, focused on the rebirth of the Black nation, which is an accountability, responsibility, and action movement for Black people of all nationalities and religions and ways of life to come together. First, learning to love you, because if you can't love you, then you can't love the next. Then learning how to rebirth our Black families, which, our Black families are in need of a rebirthing. There's a lot of healing from past situations to present situations that hinder our families from being rebirthed. But we are working on the rebirthing of our families through mind, body, and soul. Then our communities. Once our families are rebirthed, our communities automatically change because our families is what make up our communities. That also allows for our Black businesses to be set up in our communities, and that is what promotes our financial freedom. But our overall view of wealth is wealth spiritually, mentally, intellectually, physically, and physically is twofold because that turns into monetary wealth as well. As long as we stick together and speak the same language of unity in all of our nations. So with that being said, today is July the 21st. Wow, can you believe July 21st? Leo season is right around the corner and Cancer season is going away. Leo season, as July 23rd, it's time for me to start celebrating my queendom of the jungle, the lioness, that's me. Yes, but we always have a lot of fun. My sister is born July 28th. My mother is born August the 5th, and I'm August 21st. All female Leos. My brother was the only oddball. He was born in February. But what that has made me realize is that with some of these signs and stuff, there's a lot of characteristics that are the same. I'm going to tell you the difference between me, my mother, and my sister. I'm going to leave me for last, matter of fact. My mother is the type of Leo that she's going to be able to provide for everybody. She's going to stay safe. She's going to stay on her job for 50 years. Well, it was 48 years and she finally retired because we made her. But, she's the one that's going to stay safe. She's not going to take no risks, but she's going to be that breadwinner for her family. She's going to be that matriarch of her family without taking the risk. My sister, she's a combination of me and my mother. Yes, she's my mother in the way that she's going to stay safe, but there's times that she would venture out and try something new. But the thing about her, as soon as she's seen a little of anything that seems like it's going to fail, she runs back to her safety. Me, I'm that different breed. I'm the one that's a risk taker. I've been taking risks since I came out of the womb. And I look at it like this. Anything that you put your mind to, you can do it. So I really don't look at it as really taking a risk, but I look at it as being me. Someone that's daring to do what I want to do and daring to see what I need to see in order to be me. So that's what I want to say to you today. Dare to be you. Dare to be you. Don't try to be nobody else because you won't be good at being someone else. The only best person that you can be is you. And now I want to go ahead and bring in my co-host. She's going to introduce herself and just tell you a little bit about her and her passions. And then we're going to come to our king that's in the building. We got an amazing show today talking talking about Pan-Africanism, but we're going to be focusing on, you know, the family, the overall view of family and what family really is, because a lot of people get it screwed up. Family is not only your DNA, but family are those who can see the life in you, the love in you, the purpose in you, and that's what they're going to try to push out of you, because they know that that's what it takes to be your best self. So when you look at family, there are DNA. That's very important if you're close and niche with your DNA. But if you don't really have DNA family, know that there's other people out here that have the understanding of just what you need, and they can fill in that gap of family. And that's something that me and my co-host was just talking about, and I'm gonna let her tell who she is and just elaborate on her non-DNA family that is more like blood than water.
Hi everyone, my name is Terry Hart. I am from Atlanta. But first, let me thank you, Dr. Angela, for having me, because you're my new family. As a matter of fact, I am a resident of Atlanta, and Atlanta forced me to form a new family. I'm very close to my family. My mom's side and my dad's side, I feel very fortunate in that, but I also had to form a new Atlanta family, which is just, I mean, they are in my DNA now because of all the experiences and celebrations we've had together. They walked me through challenges, and I'm so grateful that I had to turn that learning curve, because it broadened my horizons, it broadened my scope on and pushed me on how to love in a different way. Now, a little about me. I am a mom. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I'm a helper. I worked in my family's nonprofit for 15 to 17 years, and we help people all over Atlanta. So I consider it a blessing to help and love people. My ethos for my life is I know I'm here to love. And we get different gifts in life, and my one true gift is that I make people feel better. And I like that I make people feel better. So this family conversation is really perfect for me, because I really, really value family. And I know it's the core for our communities, it's the core for our city, and it's the core for everything we do. So thank you, Dr. Angela, for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that is our co-host for today, who is Miss Terry Hart. And now we're going to just continue to, just talk about a few other things before our next guest is introduced. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out. Don't forget to get your drink to live. We will be having a grand opening on the 30th next Saturday for our Drink to Live products. But let me tell you about that whole entire weekend. On that Saturday, in the morning time, we are going to have a back to school book bag giveaway. We will have personal items as well as school items. Shouts out to Cartier and Stout Logistics for their donations, which is my daughter's company. They actually are giving out a total of over 600 book bags between here and Alabama, and they're bringing those book bags over to BPU so that we can be a blessing to the lessons. You know, there's a lot of people that just don't have it, but as long as we have it, somebody else should be able to have what's needed in order to carry on and just live a normal day's life, especially our children. These children are going to be challenged. They're going back to school. A lot of them, this will be their first time going back to school since the pandemic hit. You know, you heard what I said, the pandemic. You know, they planned that. They planned the mind control and the body control and the population control. But you know what I was saying the other day is one thing is for certain, two things for sure. Jah, Yah, God, life, Allah, all the same supreme being, right? In this pandemic, the Most High had a plan too. And that plan was to expose those who are not in real leadership. The misleaders, that's what I call them. The ones that are leading people to the darkness instead of the light. All right, I'm going to put a pinpoint of that and we'll get back on that because it's something necessary for us to talk about. But in the meantime and in between time, Dr. Harris always want to bring the kings in. You know, there's so many people that want to focus on just the woman. Yes, we are important as Black women. Yes, we give birth as Black women to kings and queens. But guess what? we can't do it if the seed ain't manifested. And so I always want to make sure that we focus on the divine order of family. The man, the head, the protector, the woman, the rib, the provider, the child, the seed, the manifestation. When our children see us in order, that's when they live a life looking for order. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we are going to introduce our king of the hour, and that is Mr. Gideon
Modest. Yes.
Hey, Gideon.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Harris. Thank you, Terry. Yes, I just represent the rebel spirit of our people. That's who I represent, love and unity. That's why I'm here. That's my purpose of being here. When Dr. Harris talks about Black people unite, it connected with my spirit, and I see me on the right path being here, and I wish to promote the youths, the men, the women, knowledge of self.
Absolutely.
Know who you are. Know what your purpose is as a human being, male, female. Know what you are, who you are, what your purpose is. Seek knowledge. The one thing I always look to and understand well is loyalty. To me,
So important.
to me, loyalty is love and respect. So I just wanted to, be a part of this movement and play my role as a king,
And
as a
that's
father, as a
that's-
husband.
Okay, you said as a father and a husband. I didn't mean to cut you off. What'd you say? As a
No,
father?
I said as a king, as a father, as a husband, as a leader in our community.
Absolutely, absolutely. And see, the thing about when I met Gideon, it's been over a year ago now. And when I met him, it was just something really special about him. And so, every time I meet special people, I know that there's special things inside of those special people that can give us what we need in order for us as a people to grow. And Gideon, tell him where you're from.
I was born in St. Lucia, down in the Caribbean, but I grew up in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. That's where I grew up. So I'm a Caribbean boy. We call it paradise.
Okay, paradise. That sounds real good to me. Paradise?
Yes.
You want to go to paradise, Terry?
Yes, I do want to go to paradise.
So this is good because what we're going to do is we're going to connect all of our cultures that we grew up in one conversation, okay?
Okay.
And what's going to happen out of that is that we're going to see the versatility of the unity in culture, because a lot of our cultures have a lot of the same strengths, but over time, the plight of the other folks was to separate those strengths and make it weaknesses by being in unhealthy competition with one another. And unhealthy competition, see, all competition is not unhealthy. There's good competition because, let me tell you something. Those who do what I do, when I watch them, I want to get better. So anything that I see when I'm looking at them and what they're doing, if it's something that I have not yet grasped or matured in, I'm working to work on that. And that's so important. You have to work.
It is important.
You have to work to be your best self, but also to be who you are. I feel that over time we have gotten lost in acting. You have all of these different movies. You see all of these people acting.
Yeah.
But most of those people that act, Terry and Gideon, guess what? They don't know how to be real.
Right.
That's all they do is act. Their life is an act. What they say is an act. Their actions are an act. And then, half the time they don't even get paid to act. They just do it naturally. And
Now, I look at it from a different perspective. I I look at it as programming. They have programs, and what they're doing is programming, our youths. They're programming some of our people who are not as strong, and they allow themselves to be programmed because they have no foundation. So I kind of look at it different,
And then too, people are always searching for something.
Yeah.
And when you find people hungry, when you're hungry, you're gonna eat. And oftentimes you may eat something that's not as healthy just because you're hungry. So it's so important to search for things on your own and turn off some of that media sometimes and search it for yourself. And sometimes you can get knowledge from other people. So it's really important to surround yourself, like with you, King. It's just amazing to be in this atmosphere because I plan to glean. I plan to leave learning something. So I think oftentimes you're right, it's programming, but you won't be so programmable if you're not as hungry. That's like don't go to the grocery store hungry because you'll buy more food.
Hey, that is so true because hey, that was me last week. I went into the grocery store to get 2 things and came out with like $350 worth of stuff. And I'm looking like, okay, I came in here to spend $20 and now I done spent $350. But it's natural to do. Like if you go in, and that's so good the way that you put it though, because you're not talking about food, and that's what people have to understand, the food that you actually eat. You're talking about the food that you digest.
The food that you digest.
And that is so important. The food that you digest, you have to watch what you digest. You have to watch what you put in your mouth because the things that you put in your mouth could very well be the detriment of someone else,
Or it'll manifest in you when you least expect it.
Yes,
and anything that's not there can't manifest.
Also, whatever you put in your system through your eyes,
Yeah.
your ears, your mouth.
Yeah.
You have to be careful. Just like if you do not have knowledge of self, then you become vulnerable to be attacked.
You do.
Wow. Say that again. I need you to teach that. Teach that again. Teach that again. Please do.
Yeah,
Repeat
if you
that.
don't know who you are, you're an open vessel that needs to be filled.
Yeah.
And there are different types of entities that can fill that vessel that you are.
Yes.
And corrupt your entirety. And then you find yourself lost. Whether you find yourself lost behind bars or you see yourself in a situation where you don't know how you got there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important to understand, know who you are. And if you are of a melanin complexion, there's a lot of pride that comes with that.
Absolutely.
Because that's the dominant gene.
Yeah, because they try to label us as the minority. Are they for real? We are the majority. Everywhere that you go, you're going to see melanated people. I don't care
Everywhere.
if you go to China. I don't care where you go.
India.
It's going to be melanated people everywhere. Like even when I went to Belize, Mexico, I never would have thought that it was people that look like me with locks. They look like you, Gideon, with locks in Belize, Mexico. But the poverty that I seen was like, whoa. They really got you behind bars pretty much. It's almost like what they did, that stunt they pulled this year at the Walk at Selma. I ain't gonna get into that because that's just a bit much. I was so upset at Kamala Harris and her misleadership. See, we got a lot of misleaders, in this nation right now.
We do.
And the sad part is that you're going to start seeing them drop dead because it's time for our people to really elevate. And those who are out of the elevation, those who are trying to be an influence, but they're not influential, they're going to be removed. And I'm seeing it every single day because we have to get it together. And the only way that we can get it together is by our leadership and our overseers. And the overseers are the ones that oversee the leadership to make sure that they're doing what's necessary in order to make things work. So today's topic is about the family. One thing that I want to say about this is that I had to learn. I was very upset early there today. There's a lot going on. You know, you don't put your personal business out there, but just know that everybody go through stuff. You know, everybody go through stuff, and you always have to be ready to get to it. No matter how you go through it, you got to be ready to get to it. So what I'm learning, you know, even biblically in the Quran, in the Torah, you know, it all says the same thing when it talks about in the last days how family would mothers against daughters, and sons against fathers,
yeah.
and, you know, all of that stuff. If you really look at what's going on today, it's going on right now. But the thing is that to me, that is a curse. That's a visual curse. Because when you hear that this is what's going to happen, a lot of times that you absorb in your ears, like you were saying, digesting food, but a lot of times the things that you absorb in your ears, it actually comes out of your everyday makeup because you received it. It's like you're a portal for antenna, and somebody has spoken to that antenna, and they downloaded something, and it's stuck right here. And when it's stuck right here, that's what you start believing. This is what I want to challenge everyone out there today to say. Know instead of just believing, because your beliefs can be shaken. Right now, you got all these people focused on this internet religion. They talk about the ancestors that they talking to, not knowing that these ancestors, there's a lot of bad ancestors out there. A lot of things in your bloodline that you're not even aware of that you're calling on, and then you wonder why your kids is running, or your kids, or you know, that's we call them baby goats because we're not knowledgeable of what we should call them, which is children. A baby goat is, you know, now they done made the baby goat, you know, as a, you know, like the goat is the person who got all the money or the person that got all the fame. But when we look at our children a lot of times mock us, and then we want to tell them, you know, don't, you know, do what I say do. But a lot of times when you're saying for them to do, it's not the right thing. It's only to adjust to what you want them to do. One thing that I learned about my children is this: they all have their own journeys. Every last one of them have their own journey. And I cannot live my life through my children.
You cannot.
A lot of people attempt to. What do you say about that, Gideon?
Yeah, me personally, I don't believe in Junior. I don't believe in naming my son after me, Junior. Or I don't agree with that, because I believe he has to be himself.
Wow, that's dope.
I like that
that's
too.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even what you're saying still goes back to family.
Right.
Because, and what you said earlier, for me, tied back to family, because you get your first foundation of who you are in your family. Mm-hmm. Your father gives you your womanhood, and the father gives the manhood. Mm-hmm. So it's, you know, we all have different roles, but my family is where I got my confidence. In my family is where I found out who I was. In my family is where I learned how to forgive. I learned my social cues. I learned everything in my family. And that was my cousins, because, you know, we were all raised like brothers and sisters. Yeah. You know, we weren't raised in this family. Everybody was everybody's mom, and everybody was everybody's dad. And I always saw powerful, honorable men. I can't even remember. It was not even an issue when I was growing up to see men that weren't honorable and doing the right thing and giving us the right advice as girls and telling us different things to do. I just never saw it. And not even in my family. I didn't see it in my church. I didn't see it in my community. Me and my sister were talking about the other day. We were so fortunate we didn't know it. But the men in our community, I'm sure everybody did their things, but they kept it separate from the children. And there's certain things they just did not do. I can't remember one man in my entire community or my family who was not, you know, being a decent guy.
And hey, you know what? If you can actually say that, that is simply amazing. And I want those men to come forth right now, because right now it's like there are a lot of great men out here, a lot of kings out here, but because of society's tactics, we have always, as women, been taught, and I'm not talking about what you're being taught in your home and things of that sort, because these days it's not just what you're being taught in your home. When you go to the school, there's a lot of diminishing of a lot of different stuff. There's a lot of false teachings even in school, and I'm not even talking about religious teachings. I'm talking about just normal education. You know, they don't educate our children with the things that's necessary for them to continue to build family. See, family is a faithful anointed ministry, increasing the love of Yahweh. That's the acronym that the Most High gave me. A faithful anointed ministry.
That's good.
Manifesting inward nourishment, interpreting spiritual truth, rejecting yourself. That's what true ministry is. It has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with religious tactics. It has something to do with accountability.
And relationship.
And
religion is relationship.
Well,
it's our relationship.
Let's just say what the truth is as far as the black man and the black woman has been attacked. There's been an agenda to attack that community. There is a global agenda to attack this community. Basically, and let's go back to what I was saying about the melanin being the dominant gene. If you copulate with another race, that baby becomes melanin.
Right.
So
no matter how little the inkling is, it becomes melanated. And that is so important. So when we get to talking about all of the melanin, and we're talking about the families and things of that sort, Gideon, I heard you say something earlier that was so powerful, and I want you to reiterate it about your own personal life. You've been married for 31 years, right?
Yes.
31 years. When did you recognize, just tell us your journey with that, and when you recognize you just going to tell us about how it happened, because it's so powerful when you talk about it.
It's beautiful.
Well, with me being when I was a younger person, and, you know, growing up and just being wild and reckless as a young man, you know, and at the time where I met who's my wife today, I also, you know, once I met her and really what she saw in me, that's, you know, I guess I didn't see what she saw in me, but
wow.
She, you know, I guess, and I saw it to me like, you know, what they call love, you know, and as men, I think a lot of people don't know, women are creators, men are destroyers.
Ooh.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true.
Just the fact that, you know, it was love, and
it's always
saw that
love.
It was love. I saw that's what it was.
Yeah.
I acknowledged it. So from there, I had to deal with it accordingly. You know?
Elaborate on that, dealing with it accordingly. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, I don't think like if you as a man, you know, if I'm dealing with a female, then it's my job as a man to protect that female when she's with me.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right.
And how can I put myself out there for you if you lie to me?
Right.
Wow.
So trust. You trusted her.
I just had this same conversation yesterday.
How can you do that? How can I do that as a man? So me personally, I set the rules that you don't lie to me, you know, and then as far as me lying to you, then if I gotta lie to you, then I feel less than a man. Am I right?
That's right.
Which brings
That's
back
powerful.
to what? The sources of communication. See, trust comes with communication. If you don't have communication, you don't know what to trust anyway. So, you know, when it comes
and then trust comes with doing the right thing, doing the work, doing the right thing on small things. It's precept upon precept. No. Because oftentimes people can trust you by how you interact with other people. Decisions you make at your job. Decisions you make when no one's looking are the most important decisions. And trust is built on your lifestyle. Trust is an action word, because you can say it all day long, but then behind closed doors, not make the right decision. So it's important that you infuse trust in all your decisions, then it becomes who you are. And I think it becomes who you are based on decisions you make and how you live your life, how you treat everyone, others in every situation.
And that is true. But see, people have to also realize too that when you have a there's different types of relationships, and we're talking about family right now.
Right.
There's different types of relationships. There's personal relationships, there's business relationships, there's family relationships. My definition of a personal relationship is an intimate relationship between two people, where the intimacy is there. That's a personal relationship to me. A family relationship is those who are in your DNA or that was into your adopted breed of family, that y'all have a actual bond and y'all work together to see one another become great. Then you also have business relationships. I'm not going to deal with my business people like I deal with you as my personal person, as in a personal relationship. And the reason why is because there's different things that needs to be done. Now, there will be some key components that will be the same, which is respect, communication, loyalty.
Transparency.
All of those things are things that are in all the relationships. But in an intimate relationship, I'm not going to have the same thoughts about something that you do in an intimate relationship than I'm going to have in a business relationship. A lot of people don't understand that. Relationships are according to, because I've had somebody say to me, you're just so nice and radiant to all of your people that's around you. They have given me no reason to have to put my foot down. That's the difference. You see, when you have a reason to put your foot down and you have a reason to scold somebody, it's not going to be the same like your children. You're not going to, deal with your children the same way that you're going to deal with an adult that is coming in for business. That adult that come in for business, y'all have a business relationship. But when it comes to your children, you have an accountability, you have a responsibility, you have to put things into action, and then you also have to lead by example. And so there's different relationships. I'm saying that to say this. There's a lot of people that mistake the way to conduct yourself with everybody. It's not the same. It's totally different. Like I said, there's some things that are the same. The respect and all of that,
the chords are the same.
Absolutely.
But how you have to ebb and flow may be different. It's a situation by situation. I agree.
Okay,
but I want to ask you something, Dr. Angela. I think that we have to, I know I've incorporated this in my life. I think we have to work on our family relationships as diligently as we do our personal relationships. Like I know for me, once I got older, I am working hard on my relationships with my sisters, with my brother, with my mom, with my cousins. And one thing I did incorporate that has helped me, they get a pass, with me. If something happens and maybe one of my family members might be at fault. Sometimes I'm at fault. But what I have decided to do, I'm going to give them a pass. We're going to have to work this through. We do not have the option. I heard Will and Jada say one thing. Divorce is not an option. Well, I put on the table for me, because I can't make a decision for someone else, that me not being with my family is not an option. So since that's not an option, I have to work on different ways to keep my family together. So I know, because I didn't want to just work on my personal relationship and not work on my family relationship. So I think making a commitment to family also is really important.
It is, but you know what? Hurt people. And that's one of the issues that we have had with our families. A lot of our family hurt comes from ancestral things that we don't even understand. And then it's released into our atmosphere, at the time that we're born, and it depends on what time it is, then it depends on what generation you're going to be in. So there's generations and generations and generations of hurt. So a lot of things that separate family are the same things that can bring family back together.
That's true.
And I understand what you were saying. It is important, Terry. But what I also have to make people understand is that sometimes, and I would say this, everybody's journey is different.
Yeah.
And because everybody's journey is different, there's certain things and certain paths that will be walked that will be a little bit different.
And sometimes you gotta wait and allow somebody to catch up. And you gotta wait and allow other people to grow.
And
because just because you're there, the other person may not be there yet.
Absolutely.
And you have to sit back and say, you know what? It's just because I got this epiphany, my cousin may not, my sister may not, my brother-in-law, because your in-laws, they're your family too. So you have to think about your in-laws. They're not, for me, they're my in-laws. So you have to sometimes just say, well, let me give them some grace to grow.
And that is absolutely true. But I'm also a firm believer that some people, you just have to love them from a distance.
Yeah, you do.
And the reason why you have to love them from a distance, because when you are at a certain place, you have to remember that the way that things are, there's hindering factors that attempt to get you off track.
Yeah.
And it's most times, it's those who are close to you, those who you love, those who you've done for, those who you have put your all into. Those are the ones that really, really are, the most challenging to be able to work with in your relationship of family.
It will. And you know what the other challenge is? It challenged me to work on me. I heard some nuns say something one time. I was watching a documentary and they said they were doing their prayer. And in their prayer, they prayed and asked God to help them keep a spirit of humility. And they prayed and asked God to let them be able to give expecting nothing back. And you can, if you don't get anything sometimes but a crumb from something, it can be a crumb or it can be a nail you can put in your toolbox. You may not get the whole thing, but maybe you need that nail for your toolbox.
If we go back to the basics, what's family? What's the definition of family? If we got the last name of our slave masters, who's to say we're not, all our DNA doesn't have that African connection and say that we are, just a little distant family.
Right.
And
right.
That's why it goes back to just loyalty.
Yes.
If somebody is loyal to you, for as long as they're loyal to you, and you're loyal to them, because loyalty to me is love and respect. So as long as you're loyal to them, they're loyal to you for as far as it goes and as long as it goes, and it's about telling the truth. Once and as far as it goes and as long as it goes, can that person be considered family?
Put a pinpoint right there, Gideon. Put a pinpoint right there, because that was dope. Let me tell you, it is so hard right now because this generation right here. What generation is this? X, Y, or Z, or triple threes? I don't know. Which generation is Generation? And then they call it Generation X.
It's X, isn't it?
Well, let me tell you this. There has been so much buffoonery. Buffoonery, whatever you want to call it, is all the same to me. It's that false stuff that people continue to put out there that's really hindering our people from moving forward. A lot of our children in this age, I'm talking about this generation, have lost a lot. What have they lost? Respect. Not only respect for self, but respect for the elders. They have lost the drive to want to do right.
Yeah.
They lost that drive.
They don't even want to do right.
No, and then they would turn on their parents at the flick of a wrist for somebody that never did anything for them. And I feel like right now we really need, when they talk about reparations and all of that, we need reparations in our families. We need for our families to be rebirthed. We need to go back into the roots of what the issues are, release and destroy the pain, and build our families. However, if you are in a situation that you're doing all that you can do and no one else wants to put forth effort, the only person that you can really change is you. And I tell people all the time, if it is to be, it's up to me. I cannot focus on what somebody else needs to do. The only thing I can do is focus on what I need to do.
That's right.
Another thing is, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to marriages, when it comes to all of the things that, you know, that a lot of people, they always want to get away from it because everybody has their own beliefs about it. I'm a firm believer that in life as you elevate, if at a young age, the revelation of your soulmate, like you've been married for 31 years since you was a young man, right?
Yeah.
That was a revelation at a young age as a soulmate. I'm not talking about that person, but I'm talking about the ones that are coming into marriages, wanting to do the right things, wanting to see things work, but they're not happy. And then that happiness that should be there, it's also missing in the children, so you just have a totally unhappy home.
And to follow up on that, like I said, knowledge of self. You have to know who you are, because a lot of our kids have been programmed to focus on monetary stuff.
Absolutely.
Celebrity, fame, which is not conducive to who you are. You know, if you and I go back to what I was saying, if you do not have knowledge of self and you don't know who you are, then you're void.
Absolutely.
You are void. So now you could be penetrated.
And then I
easily.
think too, it's what you teach your kids what are true gifts. Mm-hmm. What's your true fortune? Because my biggest gift is that I'm always happy. I'm so thankful that I'm always happy. I don't know if it's because my name is Terry Joy. What you name your kids is so important. But I'm thankful for my happiness. I'm more grateful for my happiness than, you know, anything else besides my salvation. But I'm happy that I'm happy. You know, I'm happy for my house, my car, and everything. But my happiness has always been my ability to go to sleep at night. I know that's random.
Wow.
But being able to rest well.
You know what,
it's
Terry?
another gift.
That is an absolute gift.
I'm so happy for
That's
for
an
that
absolute gift. And I really realized, see, I tell people, I don't lose sleep over much at all.
I don't either.
You know, the Most High didn't say that you ain't supposed to sleep nor slumber. He said that's what he don't do. So that means that every one of us have to have a certain amount of rest. We have to be able to rest and leave it in the hands of the one that can do something. A lot of times we try to take on too much on our own. That's not our responsibility.
It's not.
And then we get overwhelmed because it's not our responsibility. So with that being said, there's a lot of things that's going on that we need to really focus on. We are talking about Pan-Africanism for the next 6 weeks, but we're talking about all of the things that affect a strong Pan-African movement.
Let me say this. According to what you were saying, one of the key things is to good sleep and peace of mind is live right.
Live right.
Wow.
You better say that again. Live right. You can lay your head down at night.
Tell us what live right means.
That's all
to you,
folks
Gideon.
say.
Live right. And you have to appreciate the people who's in your circle. Mm-hmm. So if to appreciate the people in your circle, then you tell them the truth. You treat them how you want to be treated yourself. So that's how if the most stranger you met on the street, you treat that stranger like how you would somebody want somebody to treat you.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
living right is very important to getting good sleep.
Wow.
I agree.
And that's crazy because
You're right.
when I say that I don't lose
That is
sleep
good.
over much, period. I really don't lose sleep over much. And the world can be dropping on me. And I'm still gonna go to sleep.
Me
Because
too.
I understand that it's not me that can do something about a lot of the things that would cause me not to want to sleep. So I go to sleep showing my faith and trust in the one that gives me life every day.
You know something else I just thought about, Dr. Angela? I think one of the jewels of our community is that we have all had to be family regardless. You know, we all, because I hear you talk and it sounds like my family. And I hear you talk, it sounds like my family. There's a connectivity with us as, are we Pan-Africans too? In the Pan-African community? I mean, we are a family just because of our circumstance. But that's a good thing for us. That's one of our superpowers. So I think that the fact that we are a family in general helps us out a lot.
And I think what needs to be emphasized also is our DNA.
Yeah.
And how old our DNA is.
Oh, man.
And how long, we've been here. And the fact that our DNA right now is being attacked, and I guess with what's going on in the community where they're attacking the young males' testosterones.
Yeah.
So they're feeling less masculine or
right.
So it's we gotta understand and we have to acknowledge the fact that us as a community is being attacked, our children are being attacked, and I look at it like this. In order for us to have a movement, we have to be serious about what the truth is, what's going on. And then once we acknowledge what the truth is and what's going on, then we can find solutions and remedies on how to deal with it.
That's
we
right.
know if we know that these people were attacking us, hanging us, and doing all these negative things to us.
Police brutality.
Why would we take our kids and put them in, ask them to educate them?
Right.
Why would we take our kids and ask them to feed them?
Right.
You see what I mean?
Absolutely.
So this is the point right now where we have to acknowledge that if it has to be done and it has to be done properly, we have
need
to do it
it.
ourselves.
We have to do it ourselves.
So let me ask you this question, because a lot of us, we go through different things, right? And life is life. Life happens. Things happen in life. However, when you have put your best foot forward to do things to see the change, not only of your people, of your family, of your household, of everything that's around you, and you continuously get those who want to buck against what the main meal is. You know what I'm saying? You have to have the meat, which is the information.
Right.
And a lot of people buck against real information. They would rather get their their fancies tickled. They'd rather for you to lie to them and tell them something that's not true, and they will follow that before they follow the truth. Then, when they are confused within themselves, they want to push that confusion onto you. And then what it does is it starts the separation tactics again.
It does.
So Gideon, I'm going to ask you this question. When it comes to Pan-Africanism, which Pan-Africanism is just a unity, it's like a movement for black people to come together all over the diasporas, right?
Yeah.
And it's for us to to have the mindset to build, the mindset to love, the mindset to lift up, and do the things that's necessary for each individual to grow. But when you because we've been doing all of these things for so long, we've been marching for so long, we shall overcome. I've been hearing that ever since I came out the womb, I think. Then you got all of these other songs, and you see all, people, no justice, no peace. You see all of that stuff all the time. But the change in it, you really don't see that. Why do you think that today is different than yesterday when it comes to change?
because we've seen all the past mistakes. We're not easily fooled anymore. You can't just tell us, oh, this is what's good for us, and then we accept it. No. And then we know that also that they're the ones that they put in front to say, hey, this is what you need to do for us, is the ones that they chose.
Absolutely.
So we're not falling for it no more. We're not.
And then the world is not open because of the World Wide Web. You know, our people have way more information now.
Absolutely.
So they fact checked everything. I mean, I use Google 1,000 times a day. I check the ingredients, I check everything I eat, I check what I'm looking at. So I have way more information at my fingertips than I used to. So when you have more information, it gives you more power.
Also, I think there's a lot more people out there like-minded like us.
Right.
Than that's being put out in front.
Right.
I do believe there's a lot more people out there who stands by the truth.
Right.
All the fog and everything else, distraction, you know, we passed that. We're knowledgeable enough to understand, hey, that's a distraction. This is the focus, because if we want to keep our DNA in existence for as long as we can't allow ourselves to be fooled anymore.
Right.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let me say this too. One thing that I realize with people is that people have an opinion about everything.
Everything.
And some things does not require or need or desire your opinion. And the reason why is because sometimes your opinion is for your situation. It's not necessarily for the next person's situation. And we always try to make everything compatible with each other. And that's not. Like today, me doing my radio show, right? For me, that's sanity. But for somebody else, with what's going on in my life today, they might think that I'm crazy. I should be somewhere else. But I know what works for me.
Right.
And I know what gives me strength. Right. And I know what I can't do that they want to place on you to do when I've already put it in the master's hands. You know, so my thoughts are, when it comes to family, when it comes to DNA, when it comes to things, sometimes, especially when you are growing and you're becoming adults, you have to sometimes mind your own business so that you can allow for people to grow. Because everybody's journey is different. Everyone handles everything different. Everyone is not emotional people.
And
everyone are not emotional people.
And Dr. Angela, sometimes it's just okay to be a company keeper. Just to be someone who holds someone's hand, not have any opinion about it.
Absolutely.
Just to say, I'm just your friend, I'll hold your hand. And know that's what your role is at that time and be fine with it. And sometimes we feel like they're telling us something for our opinion, or they may be sharing something so we can solve it. We don't have to be able to solve it. We can just say, I love you and I'm here for you. My brother, you know, I have the best family. I know everybody loves their family, but I love my family. I have the best family in the whole universe. And we still have challenges within our families. And I was being challenged by a family member. My brother told me what to pray. He said, you need to pray for God to show you how to be effective for them.
Wow.
He said, you need to stop and pray and ask the Lord to show you how to deal with them and be effective, to be what they need, to be whatever change they need or don't need. Pray for yourself to be that change. And it gave me the biggest relief. And that's what I prayed for. And things got better.
Wow. And then I'm going back, I'm hearing Gideon speaking again. And it's like I hear him in my peripheral hearing. You know, like you have peripheral vision. I hear him in my peripheral. And he was talking about one thing that was so important. He talking about lying to one another. There's so much out here. There's so many people, they just don't know how to be real no more. They don't know how to tell the truth. They try to pretend like they got everything in every way and that they're on top of the world, but in all reality, the inside of them is just really messed up. but they always want to have an opinion about somebody else's situation, but their situation a lot of times are worse off because they're paying attention to everyone else and not focused on the rebirthing of self. So when Gideon said lying, that is one of the main things that will tear a whole relationship up. And as a family, we have to be more real.
We do.
Because there's so many things that has been swept under the rug.
And transparent.
Absolutely. That we have to get to the point that we are now rebirthing how we deal with one another. Because a lot of times the way that we deal with one another will only continue to force a separation instead of bringing that togetherness and unity.
Well, one thing, when I was young, I remember I wasn't as transparent because I thought that they wouldn't love me anymore. And I thought that I wouldn't be accepted if I showed up with my own true self. And it took growth for me to discover just be yourself. It's easier. It's liberating. It made me feel free. And the surprising thing is that my family still loved me anyway. They didn't even care.
Wow. And I keep on hearing you talk about this family. That family sounds like a family that everybody want to be a part of.
Everybody is a part of my family.
Shit, everybody is part of my family.
You're my family too, Dr. Angela, now.
Absolutely.
And everybody, you are too.
Absolutely.
Everyone's a part of, because I feel like my heart is big enough to love everybody, and I get so many blessings from everyone who the Lord sends my way. I don't think I meet anyone by accident. Some have to say, well, you know what? I'm like you, Dr. Angela. I love you, but I love you from over there.
Let me just go a little deeper on the lie stuff.
Please.
They're changing the definition of everything. If you look right in front of your eyes, they're telling you, what's a woman, what's a man, that type of stuff is a bold-faced lie.
Wow. Yep.
So that means what God created is not what he created, it's what you saying it is.
Absolutely.
And, that's what our kids are growing up with right now. So It's all about understanding and living the truth. The truth has to be told.
It does.
You can't live on a lie.
Nope.
You can't tell me a lie and then tell me it's the truth. I won't accept it.
Right.
Absolutely. And then, it's so important too that let's talk about blended families now.
Okay.
There are a lot of blended families out here, right? And blended families can be either powerful or very dysfunctional. One of the two.
They can be. They sure will.
One of the two.
Yes, they can.
And unfortunately, in our communities, we've seen more of the dysfunctional blended families than we have the powerful blended families. My thought of a blended family is bringing two powerful forces together to create a bigger entity of something powerful. But because of all of the things that we've been accustomed to, all of the things that we've accepted over time with the slaves mentality, with all of the things, the crab in a bucket mentality, all of those things that keep us from rising above the circumstances, we always end back up down, in that bucket because we're pushing one another down.
That's right.
So for me, that negative energy, which I've learned to be, negative and positive energy, I've learned that in order for you to be your best self, you have to know who you can be surrounded with. Everybody that you come in touch with doesn't mean that needs to be your surroundings. That's just someone that you come in touch with at that appointed time. Some people come in your life for a reason, some for a season, and some for a lifetime. So when you know that somebody came in your life for a reason, find out what that reason is. If you know that it's a season that people are going to be coming, find out what's in that season. And if it's a lifetime, that don't mean that you're going to talk to that person every day. But that means that there's different parts of that life that person is always going to continue to come back to you. And this is what we learn to understand. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a break. and we're going to play some commercials, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Drink to Live, and then we are going to conclude with my co-host today, Miss Terry Hart. Hey, Terry.
Hey, Dr. Angela.
And then our king in the building, Mr. Gideon.
Ja Rastafari.
Yes, sir.
The best music, we play it all. The 60s, the 70s,
Let's stay together.
the 80s,
Before I let you go.
the 90s,
So work it on me.
2000s,
Hey for everybody.
and beyond. We have the best
Welcome to
musical
Hollywood,
mix on
baby.
the internet. We are Black I Am Radio. Lock us in and rip the knob off. News, information, talk, discussion, solution, and the best music on the planet. You can find it all on Black I Am Radio. Black I Am Radio. Yes, you are here.
It's your girl, Dr. Harris, live back again here at Black I Am Radio. So I want to talk about a couple of events that's going on in the next few weeks. On Saturday, 2255 Custom Hats and Kita B Entertainment presents fedoras and stilettos and cigars. That's going to be held at 3555 Centerville Highway in Snellville, Georgia. It's going to be an amazing little event. It's going to be, we're going to have all the cute fedoras, everybody with their hats on looking nice. Then, the ladies with their heels on with the fedoras, that's going to really look nice. And then those of you who like cigars, they got about 60 different flavor cigars, right? I'm not a tobacco person, but to each his own, they do what they do. But if you could come out this weekend to support that, it's going to be at the Humidor Cigar Lounge, and that is again in Snellville. It's a bar and lounge, and it's going to be really, really nice. It's from 7 p.m. until 2 a.m., and it is free entry. They will have a raffle for a fedora hat, a $20 raffle. So if I was you, I would put my $20 in, because those hats, I know for a fact that they are very pricey. So if you can get your fedora for $20, why not? Go ahead and put that $20 in there and take your chance to win. And so one of the hats that's going to be featured is one of the hats that Terry actually has on. Tell them a little bit about 2255 Custom Hats, Terry.
Okay, well, I do have on a 2255 custom hat, and the designer is C.L. Davis. He is an amazing designer, and he has been in business for almost 2 years with this hat company, but he's been a designer his whole life. And everyone has been wearing his hats, from Ricky Dillard, wore him on the Stellar Awards this weekend.
He sure enough did.
Award. T.I. bought a hat on...
that was just the other day. Yeah, that was just the other day.
And Bishop Jordan, who is...
He bought 10 hats.
He bought 10 hats at once. Also, Pastor Gerald Hatton and Pastor Dietrich Hatton just bought hats just this past week. Kenny Lattimore is one, but but I really like 2255 because every customer is important. Every customer is a star for 2255 Custom Hats, and that company even prays over the customers and wants customers to feel great. So I mean, it's an amazing company. I have one of the 2255 Custom Hats on now.
Amazing.
And Saturday is going to be an amazing event. So come join us at the Humidor. And
absolutely, I'm gonna have my hat on. I don't know if they're ready for it. I don't
either, because you always look so amazing. I always tell you how beautiful you look.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I can't wait to see how you're going to look on Saturday.
Yes. I'm thinking about wearing one of my Black I Am custom jean outfits with some heels and a fedora. Yes. Wow. So that is this weekend coming up. Again, that's on Saturday. It is from 7 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Tell them about following us on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Tell them.
Yeah, you can follow 2255 Custom Hats on Instagram. And on Instagram is 2255 Custom Hats. That's easy. And follow us on Instagram.
2255 Custom Hats. Make sure that you follow them. Some things just make us look appealing when we're in the midst of people. And one thing that I realized, a nice suit, whether it's a woman or a man, and a nice hat and some nice heels, it just makes us look like, I don't know, it's just some type of feeling when I put on that hat. It's like, okay, I feel a little bit different with this hat on, and I'm not a hat person. I'm just learning to get into these things. So again, follow 2255 Custom Hats on Instagram, and then there is also the website on that Instagram. CL Davis is a great designer. He will do anything to a hat and make it look amazing. So make sure that you come out on this Saturday. Again,
you'll be there
at the Humidor Bar and Lounge, and that is on Saturday from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. I look forward to seeing you there because I will be in the building. Then I also want to talk about my Drink to Live products. Don't drink to die, drink to live. And we went, you can go back on our last week's show and you can look, I explained every herb and everything. Let me tell you something about health and wellness products. A lot of people don't understand, like this is our Revelation brain enhancement tea. It has everything in it to make sure that you don't lose your memory. If you're having seizures, it stops seizures. It also is for autism patients to help them to calm down and their brain functions to be stimulated. Let me explain something to you. Every pharmaceutical drug has an herb that can do the same exact thing. Now, one thing that I have a problem with when it's all of these newfound herbalists, they don't even understand that the way that you mix herbs, you still have to use proportions in order for these herbs not to be too much. If you're mixing 5 different herbs to do the same exact thing, some of those herbs can cancel one another out. But if you're not a real herbologist, then you're not going to understand that, and you're going to give people overdoses. My friend Dr. Nawani Whitty, hey girl, she has come up with the first gender-based diabetic supplement ever called Sweet Calm in the world. She is a scientist. She's an amazing soul. She's, she's from Honduras and Belize, and she has all of those roots of natural culture, and it's really amazing. So when she actually founded this Sweet Calm, one of the things that she informed me of, I had to go back and study to show myself approved, because some of the things that she told me, I didn't know. And some of the things that I told her, she didn't know. Wow. See, iron sharpens iron. But in order for our people to really be healthy, we have to know what we are giving them. Like this Revelation brain enhancement tea, just some of the roots and some of the plants that it has in it. It says all natural unisex herbs are the brain food that you need in order to have mental clarity today and forevermore. This tea has brought back the memory loss of dementia patients, has helped dysfunctions of seizures. Revelation also calms you down so that you can think straight. It has sage in it, it has turmeric in it has ginkgo biloba in it, it has lemongrass and ashwagandha in it, it has ginseng in it has gutu kola, and then it has 9 other herbs including kudzu. If anybody knows what kudzu is a heal-all. A lot of people don't understand that kudzu grows in your backyard, and people trying to get rid of it like it's a weed, but it's really a heal-all. You can take kudzu to heal cancer. But see, people don't understand these things. But the thing about mixing herbs, if you're going to be an herbologist, come see me. I'll help you. That's one of the things that we are going to be working on in our school, the Principles of Blackness Cultural and Wellness Academy, which I wrote the entire curriculum, and I'm the founder of this school, K through 12 plus adults, right? But the 3 major components that we are going to teach in that school. The first one is the 9 C's of character. Get your character right. And then the last C is cash. When you get your character out, then your gift makes room for itself, and somebody's going to pay you for what you do. Then we're also going to be teaching the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Why? Because it's very necessary for us to understand as a culture that it's your faith, self-love, unity, community building, and all of these other things that makes us whole again. So we're going to teach off of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Look them up if you don't know what Kwanzaa is and you're Black, you need to know. Then the last thing is the main component. We are going to be teaching our children their mathematics, that's division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, and eventually chemistry from mixing herbs. Each one of our students will graduate as a herbologist. Why is that important? It's important because if we know how to take natural roots from the earth to heal, then we already are above this whole world system. Because the thing that's running this world right now is diseases. People are getting cancer. They don't even understand that cancer is a spirit. You got all of these diseases. You got to speak to them. Speak to them as as though they are. And so there's a lot of things when it comes to herbs. You cannot just mix herbs, just put them in something and give it to people and think that it's going to be healthy. Herbs and herbology mixes, it is a art. You have to know what you know. But let me tell you something. Once you know, you are going to be helping a lot of people to heal. And so we have this right here, our orange juice. This is our Revive juice. Revive is so amazing. It is a citrus base. It has a lot of turmerics in it. It has sea moss in it. It has burdock root in it. It has spirulina moringa in it. But you see the little black seeds? That's actually organic black seed. Whole black seed is good to help cleanse out your digestive system. It's also good for your to help cleanse your intestines. And it cleanses it naturally. It doesn't cleanse it with all it cleanses it over time, and that's why it's so important. Then we have our Berry Lifesaver juice. This is our beet-based juice, but this has so much stuff in it. It also has blessed thistle, spirulina, elderberry, amino acids. It has everything in here for bone and joint density. We have a tea also that's called our Lifesaver tea. In that tea, it has all the components as a preventative for cancer, diabetes, HIV, herpes, like any of the infections that we have, blood diseases, it all works for that. And so there's so many people that have drank this juice and they have told me how good they feel. And when they don't have it, I get scolded. I wonder if one of those people are in my studio right now. But she keeps me on my toes, Then we have our green juice. Now, everybody, I love this juice. For me, you have to have an acquired taste for super greens. But in this super green, there is a total of about 17 vegetables, along with all of the vitamins, the minerals, the iron, and 10,000 milligrams of B12. This is your energy drink that you want to drink right here. It won't mess with your heart. It won't mess with your lungs. It won't give you allergic reactions. What it does is it allows you to get that natural boost of energy that's going to carry you through the dumpy days and the days that you really, really, really need something to pick me up. Like today, I was bad. Oh, y'all, I went and got a Coca-Cola. I always have to scold myself. And, I know for a fact I should have drunk one of these Kicker Boy Joy juices instead of picking up that Coca-Cola. It's just sad, but it's true. So I'm working on it. We got to work on being better and getting better every single day. Now, I'm going to talk about 2 teas right now. Our teas, we have them in the tea bags. This is Wholesome Melanin. This is Kings and Queens Romance tea. But let's talk about these 2 teas right here. Let's start with the man. I always like giving kings the props. This one right here is called Black Panther. Black Panther tea has a hibiscus base in it, but it has everything in it for the man. For his prostate, for his colon, for his testosterone levels, for his moods. It's everything in it to calm a man, but also to give them that massive energy needed. Let me explain what I mean. Let me just read what it says on here. It says, Black man, you will never be the same, and your woman won't either. The uhimbi bark, burdock root, and other natural herbs that naturally cleanses your colon, prostate, and more. The erection will last longer naturally and lights a fire that won't go out. This is a man's and woman's dream come true. And it's all healthy. I'm having so many testimonies. Some of the men call it the weekend tea. They call it the weekend tea. They say, Doc, I get all your other teas during the week. But during the weekend, I need that Black Panther tea. So make sure that you get your Black Panther, and it does come in loose leaf tea, but we've also created our iced tea. And it's good. It tastes really good. All of our teas and juices, none of it has sugar in it. It is made with agave, and some of it with natural honey if it's not hot. Now, let me say something about honey. A lot of people don't know that honey has toxins in it if you put honey in things that are hot. So you have to realize you're not supposed to drink honey hot. But people don't know that. They've been doing it for years and years and years, and it's giving out toxins, and then you wonder why you have all of these different allergies. You know, you can sniff honey and it'll stop an asthma attack. So, you know, there's a lot of things that people just don't know about that. Next, and this is last but not least, and then we have our CBD products. We have our, I got to talk about the food grade hydrogen peroxide. But let's talk about this tea right here. This is our motherland tea. What does it sound like? Motherland is for the woman. This tea is hemp infused, not only used as pain and healing agent, but also is made up of herbs that brings you the natural healing power you can count on. This is for a woman's hormones. It's for if you're premenopausal or postmenopausal, it'll help balance you out. It has everything in it that a woman needs in order for her to be balanced. That's what the motherland tea does. It also heals fibroids and all of those kinds, cystic tumors and things of that sort. So when we make our products, we make them to make sure that they are effective and efficient for the whole entire family. The last but not least, I'm going to talk about these two things right here. My 3-day Drink to Live detox. This comes along with our foot detox. 3-day. When you drink this, you drink it at nighttime. In the morning when you get up, you dump everything out. And if it's working properly, you'll see a film of white stuff floating in the toilet. What is that? That's mucus. The mucus being removed from your body. However, sometimes it doesn't come all the way out through your intestines, so you still have to do a 3-day foot detox. That foot detox, you put it on the bottom of your feet. It's like you put it together and it looks like a Band-Aid and you put it on. Within 4 hours, you're going to see some stuff that look like black tar. That's the rest of the toxins coming out of your body. So make sure that you are doing things to be healthy. And then our full grade hydrogen peroxide has never failed me yet. I've been around 15 people that had COVID and never caught it. I don't vaccinate. I don't wear masks everywhere that I go. I do once every blue moon, but I live faithfully by the Most High protecting me, and then the products that He give me. This full grade hydrogen peroxide is for boils, it's for fungus, it's for corns, it's for sore throat, it's an antibacterial wash. You can wash off your vegetables with it and get all the toxins. You can spray this on your meat and you'll see all of the stuff that's not good in meat come out, and then you rinse it and soak it. And then you can see it's a disinfectant spray, it's a sanitizer. But what we use it for the most is a COVID relief or virus relief. You squirt 2 squirts of this in each one of your nostrils and squirt 2 squirts in your mouth. And once you gargle it and then you drink the water with it, what it does is it stops any infection that you can think of, any virus that you can think of. And I've had so many people, COVID patients, that came to get me COVID relief packages, and within 2 days they tested negative. So make sure that you're getting the things that matter. Full grade hydrogen peroxide, it has to be mixed properly. Don't go out here trying to sell people stuff and you're not mixing it properly. But you can go to drinktolivenow.com and you can order your products, or you can call 404-944-8544 and I will get your personalized consultation as well as your personalized products. Thank you so much for listening to Drink to Live, and I look forward to you becoming healthy. Don't forget, don't drink to die, drink to live. So that's just some of our products. And then, we have our other stuff. We have our edible CBD oil. We have our Dioptimus Earth, which is good for allergies and it's white dirt. It's good for so many things. Like, all you have to do is just study these. And I'm going to tell you something. When somebody tell you that you can take this, you have to make sure that you're studying to show yourself approved. You got to make sure that you are really researching these things to make sure that it's good for you. So I'm going to leave you with this. We all have something to work toward. We all need to be healthy. Black health is the new wealth. You cannot be wealthy without being healthy, because your wealth won't measure if your health is not good. You can have all the money in the world, but if you too broke down to spend it, it's all in vain. So we're going to get back to our show after our commercial, and I'm going to let Gideon as well as Terry give their closing remarks about Pan-Africanism, and make sure that you give the information that's needed if you want somebody to contact you. And we have a commercial coming up that's going to talk about our event here at Black People United next weekend, the 30th and the 31st.
Get ready for one of the most influential weekends of 2022. Black People United presents Bosses Building Bosses. Saturday and Sunday, July 30th and 31st. That's 5595 Riverdale Road, College Park, Georgia. Featuring our Pan American Initiative. Black Health is our wealth. Black Health is our wealth. Saturday and Sunday, July 30th and 31st. The grand opening Saturday, July 30th kicks off at 3 p.m. Day 1, we will have our official grand opening for Dr. Angela Harris's Health and Wellness line. Drink to live. Don't drink to die. Drink to live. And clinical research scientist and holistic health practitioner, Dr. Newmoney Whitty. It's the health and wellness paint and sip. Get ready. Live entertainment, prize giveaways, and more. On day 2, Sunday, July 31st at 6 p.m. On day 2, it's our mental health awareness. Paint, heal, and sip. Dr. Angela Harris, the releasing and destroying of pain. Live entertainment, a segment on meditation and third eye chakra development. Our health and wellness paint and sip theme. Prizes, networking, and more. This entire weekend of events sponsored by Black I Am Radio. Your one-day ticket, $30, or two-day for $50. All proceeds going to the Principles of Blackness Cultural and Wellness Academy. Get your tickets now at www.bossesbuildingbosses.eventbrite.com. www.bossesbuildingbosses.eventbrite.com. Saturday and Sunday, July 30th and 31st. Beginning at 3 p.m. on Saturday and 6 p.m. on Sunday. Make plans to be at Bosses Building Bosses, the most influential weekend in 2022. 5595 Riverdale Road, College Park, Georgia.
Time. If you gotta cry, child, go ahead and cry. Everything will be alright. We've been made do for a night. Joy come in the morning time. If you gotta cry, child, go ahead and cry. Everything will be alright.
I was born in this life that I'm living in. The cards I was dealt ain't supposed to win. The pain that I felt, I couldn't hold it in. I put my faith in God so I could live again. I seen the sun shine and watched the rain fall. Held my head up high to see beyond the stars. A troubled spirit, y'all, from behind bars. Rough times, they belong to God.
We've been made do for a night. Joy come in the morning time. If you gotta cry, child, go ahead and cry. Everything will be alright. We've been made do for a night. Joy come in the morning time. If you gotta cry, child, go ahead and cry. Everything will be alright.
As a child, I could never understand how me and my friends were born in a life of sin. Against the odds, you gotta trust in God. Exercise your faith and let him do his part. Looking through the years, my heart shedding tears as I'm switching gears and a prayer for my fears and how we learn to live. We were only kids. Father, have mercy, make us whole again.
We've been made do gotta cry, child, go ahead and cry. Everything will be alright. We've been laying you all the night. Joy come in the morning time. If you gotta cry, child, go ahead and cry. Everything will be alright.
Now I'll lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. I climbed the mountain high and walked the valley low, sleeping on the floor, opportunity at the door. I slid the curtains back to let the light show. Will I see tomorrow? Only God knows.
And I am back. It's your girl, Dr. Harris, live here at Black I Am Radio. And that was the ghetto politician, Mr. Sean Raleigh, who is actually one of the authors on my book that will be released next month. I am so excited about the epiphany of loving myself. And the theme is, when did I learn to love me? That's a question that we really have to look at ourselves. We have to look on the inside of us to figure out what needs to be done. And in order for you to really love you, people are going to have your opinions. Gideon said something very, very amazing. You know, people gonna have their opinions, they're gonna say, but you gotta find out what is for you, you know, and you have to do what's for you. You can't always please everybody, but what you can do is aim to please you so that you can love somebody else. And at the end result today, what I want you to get out of this show is, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, if it is to be, it's up to me. What is if it is to be? If what is to be, what is your responsibility? What is your accountability? And how are you going to put it into action? So we're going to go ahead and have Gideon come in. We're going to, and then we're going to come back with my co-host Terry. We're going to close out this show for this time. But don't forget to tune in again next Thursday on Dr. Harris Live at 4:30, from 4:30 to 6:30 on all of our platforms. The first platform being YouTube, on Black I Am Media. Second platform being Black People United Global Network on Facebook. Third platform is our blackiamradio.com, if you can just listen. The thing about listening in the car, being on the platform.com, you can listen to it in the car. All you have to do is Bluetooth. That's all you have to do is Bluetooth. So make sure that you're also checking out Black I Am Radio. blackiamradio.com. We stream every day, all day. We play a lot of oldies but goodies, but then we mix some other stuff up in there too. And it's always a delight, you know, to turn on some great music and be able to groove to it. And that's what our mission is, not to only groove though, but to educate as we're entertaining. So we call it edutainment. That's what we call it. We want to edutain you to make sure that we give you the education and the wisdom and the knowledge that you need, but also make it fun for you so that you can receive. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead. Gideon, please give us your last words. Tell them, you know, how you feel about this Pan-Africanism and family, and what you feel is the best thing to do in order for us to pay it forward.
Knowledge of self. It's very important to me that somebody has knowledge of who they are. Once you know who you are, then you stand on that foundation of knowing who you are, where you're from, what's inside of you. So then you can first love yourself. And then once you can love yourself, then you can love things around you, like the trees and the rocks and the earth. You know, so
wow.
Knowledge of self is very important to me. Once you know who you are, then it gives you a foundation where it starts to close the void. And then once you have that knowledge, and then you can love outside of yourself, then you can start to connect with your surroundings.
Absolutely.
And once you can connect with the earth, and you can look even deeper, have a connection with the earth. So anywhere you put on the earth and you have knowledge of self and you connect it to the earth, and then the earth is connected to you. So I look at it may sound a little deep, but it's simple. It's simple. You know, if you connect it to the earth protects you. So in return, you have to protect the earth. You can't just throw trash out your window.
That's right.
Wow.
So that's important. Knowledge of self. If you guys don't remember nothing, remember that. Learn who you are so that you can love yourself.
Absolutely. Throwing trash makes you trashy. How about that?
How about that?
You know, but you know that sometimes that little now later paper, you know, we just gotta do better, y'all. We gotta do better because we've been doing
better. Throw it in the car.
Throw it in the car. Throw it in the car. Okay. And now for Terry, let us hear your closing words, Terry.
Well, first let me say, Dr. Angela, thank you for having me. You know, I just think the world of you. I tell you all the time, I know you probably get sick of me. I think you're so beautiful, and I'm so proud of you and everything you have accomplished. It just, you know, gives me a sense of pride in myself and representation. I tell you this all the time, it's everything. So you represent us well, Queen. Keep shining just the way you are. You know, I'm always just a phone call away. Whenever you need me, Dr. Angela, just call me.
Absolutely.
But my final thought is just that let's just show each other kindness. It's free, it's easy, you know, and kindness all the way around to ourselves, to first, so we can, what we give ourselves, we can give to others. So let's show ourselves kindness and let's be kind to each other. That would be my closing thought.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And my closing thoughts is this. My I ams is I am powerful, I am strong, I'm about that life, I was born to fight, I'm a warrior in my mind, and that's why I can give you this time. I give you this time to make sure that you understand that it's not over for us. We do have a plan. The rebirth of the Black nation to bring us together again. That's what we focus on. It's the agenda that's going to win. I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it. No, I take that back. I used to say that. But there is something that you can do about it. You can love yourself too. Take care. Enjoy your week. Make sure that you're meditating, make sure that you're praying, and make sure that you understand that no one is perfect, but your heart can be perfected. Thank you.
Get ready for one of the most influential weekends of 2022. Black People United presents Bosses Building Bosses. Saturday and Sunday, July 30th and 31st at 5595 Riverdale Road, College Park, Georgia. Featuring our Pan American Initiative. Black Health is our wealth. Black Health is our wealth. Saturday and Sunday, July 30th and 31st. The grand opening Saturday, July 30th kicks off at 3 p.m. Day 1, we will have our official grand opening for Dr. Angela Harris's Health and Wellness line. Drink to live. Don't drink to die. Drink to live. And clinical research scientist and holistic health practitioner, Dr. Newmoney Whitty. It's the health and wellness paint and sip. Get ready. Live entertainment, prize giveaways, and more. On day 2, Sunday, July 31st at 6 p.m. On day 2, it's our mental health awareness. Paint, heal, and sip. Dr. Angela Harris, the releasing and destroying of pain. Live entertainment, a segment on meditation and third eye chakra development. Our health and wellness paint and sip theme. Prizes, networking, and more. This entire weekend of events sponsored by Black I Am Radio. Your one-day ticket, $30, or two-day for $50. All proceeds going to the Principles of Blackness Cultural and Wellness Academy. Get your tickets now at www.bossesbuildingbosses.eventbrite.com. www.bossesbuildingbosses.eventbrite.com. Saturday and Sunday, July 30th and 31st. Beginning at 3 p.m. on Saturday and 6 p.m. on Sunday. Make plans to be at Bosses Building Bosses, the most influential weekend in 2022. 5595 Riverdale Road, College Park, Georgia.